kind of an unsettling video came out today of Joe Biden, and it's two separate videos that were both filmed on the same day. And when I first saw it cut together, it looked like it was a deep fake. And so I've had a number of people ask me about this video because I'm a bit of a graphics expert. I've been working in graphics for 20 years, ranging from like Photoshop, After Effects, animation, 3D modeling, even a little bit of that too, graphic design. And I've seen the technology of deepfakes over the years. And they went from silly and ridiculous to like pretty close to reality. I also know that we can emulate someone's voice. We can take recordings of someone talking and then make them say something they didn't. So the people are wondering if this is a real Joe Biden clipped together with not a real Joe Biden. You'll see what I mean. Watch how much his face changes and his voice changes throughout these two clips that are apparently just hours apart in the making. And then we'll go over the details onto either why this is fake or why this is real.
Folks, as we fight inflation, you can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. Bringing down gas prices is a big part of the job. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. And here's the good news. Gas prices have dropped every day this summer. That's more than 40 days in a row. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. We now have 40,000 gas stations in the United States where the price of gas is $3.99 or less. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that. How do we get the price down?
Yeah, the eyes.
A new report today shows that, folks, as we fight inflation.
Okay, so the human face is a blanket of interconnected muscle under the skin. And unless you've had a ton of Botox or facelifts, whenever you talk or gesture in any way, your whole face moves around. So even if you got a great poker face or a great skin routine, just your mouth moving does pull other parts of your face. Your eyes move a little bit, your nose moves, your mouth, cheeks, your jaw. It's all interconnected with muscle, okay? So when he talks normally, even though he's Botoxed and facelifted, there's still some movement in the top half of his face. Also, Joe is an old man. So when he's talking, when he's looking anywhere, especially at a teleprompter, he squints a little. And that's for a couple reasons. First, he's old, so he's always in pain. He's in pain at all times. There's subtle pain somewhere on him. So he's like, ugh. The second part is he's straining to read. His vision's kind of going. So he's got to squint just a little bit to make sure he can get the words right. And then thirdly, he's also struggling with dementia and or cancer, according to him by accident. So he's like, what? Wait, where am I? Hang on a minute. So there's three reasons why he's always kind of squinty. And even when he's surprised, even when he's Vyvanced up, he's still open, but then a little squinty in the corners because he's still in pain. He's still got to see. But that doesn't happen in the second part of these cuts, where he's just like full-on Terminator, and he's never been that before. Watch the transition.
Fight inflation. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop.
Like, this doesn't move at all. His voice is totally different, too.
Bringing down.
This is real Joe that we're used to. The slight wince, the hand gestures.
Gas prices is a big part of the job. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American.
Where's John Connor?
And here's the good news. Gas prices have dropped every day this summer.
Okay. He's recalling things, he's in pain, and he's trying to read something 10 feet away. That's his normal face, okay?
That's more than 40 days in a row. Donald Trump lacked.
Fuck, this is good Adderall.
The courage to act. We now have 40,000 gas stations in the United States where the price of gas is $3.99 or less. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like him. Okay. So there are two arguments for this. One is this is fake. And this is a younger man with better posture and different hand movements than Joe Biden. And that, like a stunt double, they just digitally plopped a face in there and then used fake voice recordings of him talking before over the years, because they have a big bank of his vocals, and then made him say this through AI or a computer. You can type out a script, apply the voice, and he'll say what you want. Now, this could be a solution to the Joe Biden fumbles. Every time he talks on camera, it's a real liability for the White House. So if we could just get like a fake version of him out there, we can make him say whatever he wants, and there are no problems. But the deepfakes aren't quite there yet. And the issue with deepfakes is the uncanny valley. So people enjoy recreating something that looks human to a certain point. If it gets almost there, like almost perfect but slightly off, people react with disgust or even violence. And we think that's because of how we evolved from other species of humans. So historically, at some point, there were multiple species of people on the planet. So you had like Neanderthals and Homo erectus and Homo sapiens. And theoretically, at one point, they ran into each other and like, what the fuck is... He looks like me, but he's not. And so I'm going to stab him because he's a threat, right? And so that's why we have this uncanny valley thing where if you make AI or like robot people, it's fine as long as we can immediately tell that they're a robot. But if they look like a person and they even move correctly, but we can tell there's something slightly off, like maybe their mannerisms are a little weird, or like they say something in a pattern that's not quite right, people react violently. They don't like that. It's like an imposter or an alien threat, okay? So people are thinking that this is some uncanny valley shit. Now, the other argument, and in my opinion, this is probably what it is Joe Biden throughout the day has meds kicking in and wearing off, okay? So this is what we're used to when he's on like a moderate amount of Vyvanse. And this is when he might have too much. Maybe he's in pain, he's frustrated, he doesn't have to really read the line anymore because this is like take 28. And at this point, he's just like, pro-insurrection!
Can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy.
Okay, so what about the voice? It's deeper and more stern. Now, Joe Biden does have moments where he has like aggressive outbursts. That tough guy thing he does, right? Listen here, Jack! Like, he's always been like that since I was a little kid. But lately, even when he's that, you can still tell that he has old man lungs. Like, there's strain behind it. Like, listen here, Jack! Like, he tries to be tough, but you can tell it's an old man saying it. Here, it doesn't sound like old lung Joe Biden.
Insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American.
It's like a deeper voice. Now listen to him.
Here's the good news. Gas prices have dropped every day this summer.
Hey, sure. Now, my voice can change considerably, either on purpose or if I just got over COVID or something. Joe Biden just did. So maybe he has a bit of a manly sore throat. Or maybe he's been doing this for so long that his voice is starting to get hoarse and he turns into tough guy. Like, I want to go home. I'm tired of this shit. And Jill's like, hey, just pop like 3 Adderall at once. Get this take banged out and we'll go home and take a nap. And he goes,
you can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American.
Cut! All right, get out of here, Joe. He's like, ugh. And then he goes back to being real Joe.
Lack the courage to act.
Yeah, courage to act.
Now we have 40,000 gas stations in the United States.
Yeah. The most unsettling part is the top half of him. Like, what? I mean, that's got to be him. But I can see why people would be like, hey, this is a deep fake. Because that transition is so abrupt. Like, this is like 2 different people.
And pro-American. And here's the good news. Gas prices
You're telling me that's the same dude? Okay, so it's probably the same guy. I think it's just meds kicking in and wearing off rather than a pretty good deep fake. Now, don't rule those out, though. They will use those at some point. If this isn't one already, they're going to start deep faking us because it's almost there, technology-wise. But I will conclude that I think it's still Joe Biden the whole time. But we should still be worried because he's not all there. Have fun.